The reality is that a lot of men complain about women not holding themselves accountable or not accepting accountability. Now, of course, I'm sure there's tons of you who are going to say that's what men do. Men don't accept accountability. I ain't arguing. It's happening on both sides, okay? We're not going to get into who does it more or whatever. It definitely happens on both sides. But we have to recognize that, yes, it does happen with a lot of women. Whether that applies to you or not, I don't know. But it does happen with a lot of women. And you probably know a lot of women who they dodge accountability like I don't know what. They just don't accept it. And that is a deterrent to someone wanting to join together with you and share life with you. All right? Because you can no longer feel comfortable talking to them about certain things. You feel like they're going to be stuck in their ways. There's no room for improvement where when things are noticed. That's just not a healthy place to be. It's not a desirable place to be. So as a woman, when you can show that you know how to humble yourself in a way that says, and again, not humble in undermining your value, but humble in saying, I know there's always room for me to get better. All right. And more specifically, because understand this, we can come into a situation with a partner and be amazing, great people who have worked on ourselves and all these things. But there's always going to be small little details that we have to understand about each other to make sure that we come into full harmony with each other. So this is hitting my spirit, so I feel the need to mention this. And I will say now, this applies more to when you're married. Not more. This applies to when you're married, but we all know that these things go down even before marriage. That's your choice. I'm not telling you that you should. I'm acknowledging it. And we're talking about intimacy. We're talking about sex. All right. And the reason why I bring it up is because what I've seen on both sides, men and women, is they go into it feeling like, oh, I know what I'm doing. Oh, I'm good at what I do, right? And they shut off any ability to receive constructive criticism from their partner and understand that even if you are known to be a great lover and know what you're doing in the bedroom, it doesn't mean everything will apply to your future husband or wife, all right? Or current husband and wife. You have to understand that you have to be willing to learn what they like and what flows with them and not take it as some kind of personal attack on you or your skills or anything like that. No, it's just how life is, you know? And when we learn how to have that mentality in all aspects of our relationships, we can make things so much better. So, to wrap up this point, bottom line is when you can show you're a woman who is open to correction and improvement, you show great value to a man. All right. And so, uh, one more strong reason or way for a woman to establish her value with men is to be the woman God wants you to be. So we talked about being your authentic self earlier, and this kind of plays into it. But I mean, this to me, it goes hand in hand if you are a believer, because being your authentic self is being the person that God wants you to be. And when you are able to walk in that, it's easier now for you to be that confident person. It's easier for you to now remain in your authentic self and not deviate or try to be something that you're not. It's easier for you to now remember what your value is and not accept less because you know what God wants for you and what God would say is not acceptable for you to be entertaining and engaging in. All right. And so by getting more in tune with your spirit, more in tune with God, it is easy. It allows you to walk in the fullness of who He created you to be. This is hitting my. I'm having a few hit my spirit moments. This video, and I ain't gonna lie. This one I'm a little afraid to say, but I gotta say it. And remember, I love y'all. And remember, I'm never trying to hurt feelings or offend. I know some of y'all feel like I apologize or I do too much of this softening the blow too much, but I feel like I just got to because I never want people to take things the wrong way. Many of you need to ask God if you're truly walking in your true self. Dang, I hate saying this. With your weight. please, again, don't be mad at me. Don't think I'm trying to, and I'm not telling you what your size should be. But I remember one time I was speaking to a friend, and I had told them at that time, this is many years ago, they were struggling with dating and stuff. And I said, well, I really want you to consider getting to a healthy weight. And they were a little offended by it. And they was like, well, no one's ever told me that before. No one's ever told me I needed to do anything about my weight. And I said, okay, I hear you. But rather than even like looking at it as in, did anyone tell you that before, me telling you that right now, why don't you ask God where you're at? And ask God if where you're at is where he wants you to be when it comes to that. And please understand that that question is not about your physical presentation completely. It's about the impact it's having on your health. It's about the impact it's having on your confidence. It's about the impact it's having on your mood. I had a woman one time reach out to me and she said, please do a video one day about this. And I plan on actually doing a full video, really diving into all of this. But she said she was someone who, thought, no one should ever have anything to say about your weight or anything like that. And she's fine how she was, but she was struggling with dating. And then she said, I forgot what was the catalyst, but she eventually went on to losing a bunch of weight, getting a lot healthier. And she actually ended up getting married. And she said, it wasn't just, well, now she's getting all these men coming at her and she ends up finding her husband. She said she noticed she went from being like grumpy to being more positive. She went from being low energy to being more enthusiastic and energetic. Like these are things that the majority of people experience. Now, again, I am not here to tell you what the weight should be, what you need to look like specifically. I'm telling you to go to God about it. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. Relationships are the key to a successful life. But there's 5 areas that we have to be mindful of when it comes to relationships. There's relationship with God, relationship with ourselves, relationship with family and friends,